Here we go. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon. A very early morning. I was just reminded in beautiful Kauai because it is 8 in the morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning to you, spoiled agents. This is Sabrina tuning in with you. We're so excited to be across the whole United States of America and live on Facebook. Hello to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us. We're here with two fabulous industry icons. This is something that's going to be so amazing. Look at their backgrounds. You get ready for this presentation because that's just their background, imagine. So I'd like to introduce with the warmest of welcomes, the lovely Maile Brown, who is the Kauai Visitor Bureau Director of Sales and Marketing. Good morning, Maile. How are you?
Aloha. Good. How are you?
Well, I was telling you before, I'm wearing like 3 pairs of socks. I'm freezing. And I'm looking jealous at you and your glowing self and the beautiful weather that you have. What is the temperature like right now?
It is 77. So hot
Okay,
right now.
because, and what is freezing in United States? I'm sorry, this is going to make me look so bad. Is it minus 30? No,
0.
0. Everywhere is 0. Okay, so we already have been
Oh, no,
minus.
32 degrees is freezing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Because in
Fahrenheit,
Canada,
yeah.
0 Celsius. I should have just said Fahrenheit and Celsius. Okay, so we have been already in the low 30s in where I live. It's not very friendly or welcoming like where you are. And I also have another guest here today. This is very exciting. Rita Norman is a senior sales manager with the Grand Hyatt Kauai Resort and Spa. Welcome, Rita.
Aloha, good morning.
Good morning to you. And where are you? What is that we're looking at?
So behind me is the upper pool deck at our resort, which is our adult pool deck, and one of the wonderful cabanas that you can go out and relax and enjoy the amazing view and not suffer any of the sun's rays.
Oh my
If you don't
gosh.
want to.
And
But
you don't have to wear socks or get a hot tea or any of that business like me either.
no,
Oh my
no.
gosh, you're just like in this beautiful breezy weather. Oh, and surrounded by adults. Okay, sign me up. I'm ready. I don't want to talk too much because we have a beautiful session to come and so much great information. It's so fun to have you always, Maile, telling us all about Kauai, but then it's great to see a partner as well in such a beautiful property like the Grand Hyatt. So not only is it beautiful and Rita's lovely, but extra gracious. So thank you. There's an amazing prize today, which when I read this, I saw the value was over $3,500. So do you ladies want to say, or would you like me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. Can I say it's for me? No. Okay. One lucky agent
Go ahead.
that tunes in live and stays on until the Q&A is going to, you can go to this very view and this cabana right here because they're going to win a 3-night stay at the Hyatt Kauai Resort and Spa, courtesy of this beautiful property. And Rita, thank you so much, Rita. That is so gracious of you. So all you have to do, if you're tuning in on Facebook with us live, just write your email. Remember, if you're here on Zoom, we have your email, so don't worry. The Zoom is blowing up, the reactions, the comments. I can't wait. So I can't wait to see who wins. Now, all of us have to wait because we do put all of the names in, whoever's on until the Q&A, you get to enter to win this draw. And by the end of the week, today's Tuesday, by the end of the week, then we will do that announcement to the one lucky winner that's going to go for 3 nights. Now, if at the Q&A session you have to run, we forgive you because we know you're going to go call all your clients and tell them about Kauai and the Grand Hyatt. So we forgive you, right, ladies?
We do.
But if you do for any reason have to run at one point, the session is recorded and we will have that, of course, right in our webinar library for you. And so you can watch, you can show your clients and get lots and lots of happy customers to this absolutely stunning and amazing destination and the property. So remember, everyone, just housekeeping. We will have the chat for the fun things like Virginia says it's on her bucket list, Hawaii. And any questions you have, please make sure to ask because you've got 2 amazing resources here with, of course, the property with the Grand Hyatt, and of course, everything Kauai. So please ask your questions in the Q&A box. As much as we'd like to, we can't dig into the chat because it moves just too quickly, and we want to honor your time, and we want to make sure to answer your questions. So help us by putting it in the Q&A so we can answer. We'll have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. And without further ado, I will let you get started.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for that introduction. We're very excited to be here. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to do a brief overview, provide a few updates, and then, of course, turn it over to Rita, who's going to talk all about her amazing property. On this screen, actually, you can see just above her right shoulder is actually the Grand Hyatt Kaua. So it's like, woo, I picked the right picture. So let's jump into it really quickly. Of course, beautiful Kauai. We are the northernmost and oldest. You guys have heard this. For those of you who have not joined me for a webinar presentation before, just keep in mind that every time I do a presentation, these first couple of slides are pretty basic. But again, just reminding you about where we're located and what makes Kauai so special. So there we are, just northwest of the island of Oahu. And then, of course, when we're talking about what really separates Kauai from our neighbor islands, Kauai is known for its natural beauty, right? It's 6 million years old, which is actually 2 million years older than the next oldest island, which is super old, right? So she's had the longest and most wonderful relationship with Mother Nature. So just remember that moment of, right? That is what Kauai is all about. So our brand essence is rejuvenating. So just keep that in mind as you're talking with your clients. If they need that moment to escape to nature, to reconnect, Kauai is definitely a great option for them if they're coming out to the island. So again, keep that in mind. I did, of course, have to put up our amazing airlift coming into Lihue. Keep in mind that, you know, some of it is seasonal, like the Vancouver nonstop, that is seasonal. But a lot of great lift coming from the continental United States. And of course, all of those inter-island flights from our neighbor islands, very, very easy to get to and from Kauai. So don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you can't come to the islands too hard. No, 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 so easy. Okay, so keep that in mind. And as you can see, we even have a flight as far away as Denver. So that's pretty good for us. So I'm going to share just a couple of things for you. We always start here at Napali. This is our northwestern coastline. It is inaccessible by car, and it is the #1 must-see. If you're sending your clients to Kauai, the first thing you need to do is book them on a tour to go see Napali. You can see it by boat, by air. There is a hike, which, you know, that's only for your super duper, like avid, really good hikers. Otherwise, put them on a boat tour, put them on a helicopter tour or a fixed wing airplane to see this amazing coastline. You have seen Napali in all kinds of advertisements for Hawaii. This is Hawaii, but they'll show you Napali, but they never, I'm hoping to change this in the future to get to everybody and say, if you're going to show this picture, it's not just Hawaii, it is Kauai. Because if your clients come to you and say, we want to go here, if you send them to another island, they're not seeing Napali, right? So keep that in mind. We're going to take a quick tour around the island, of course, starting up on the North Shore. Again, we do have to get this out there. I know I've been talking about this for quite some time. Reservations required. These are 2 places on Kauai. They're both on the North Shore. Both of them now require reservations. It's been this way for several years now. Ha'ena State Park, the very end of the road on the North Shore, that star there on the left-hand side. Very, very important that your clients know about this because this one sells it extremely quickly. So go ahead, go ha'ena.com. That is where you will get those passes, parking passes, individual entry, as well as the shuttle passes. All right. The shuttle is the way to go because the parking and individual entry passes will sell out pretty much immediately. All right. Kilauea Point National Wildlife Refuge is our northernmost point. It's that star there on the right-hand side. That one also requires reservations, but that one's not crazy. You can advise your clients that when they get to Kauai, settle into their hotel room with the beauty of having Wi-Fi at the resort. That's when they can make their reservation sometime during the week. It's not selling out incredibly quickly. There's usually lots of availability, but it is important that they know that before they get there, they do need to have a reservation. And also it must be known, it must be said that the reception over there is terrible. So if they're standing at the entry gate trying to get a reservation, it's not happening. So I'm just putting that out there. Advise your clients, all right? Just for them to know it before they go. All right. So moving on the North Shore, we also have got Common Ground. It's not a new place, but they are reinventing themselves. They've always got something fun happening at this beautiful property, again, up on the North Shore. But now they are introducing their lei making classes. And it's really great because you actually get to forage and learn about all the plants that you're utilizing to make these beautiful lei. So definitely, if your clients are looking for something special, please send them to go and explore Common Ground. Also up on the North Shore, this is new. It is the Hanalei National Wildlife Refuge. So for those of you familiar with Kauai, there used to be the Hanalei Valley Lookout, which is basically a little turn off where you pull off the side of the road and take all these pictures. Well, we've made it a lot more safer. It's actually a parking lot. It's not in the same place. It's actually a little bit before you start going down into Hanalei, but it's got a parking lot. There's a comfort station. Very, very beautiful. But most importantly, you've got these amazing views of Hanalei Valley. And additionally, it tells you about the significance of the Hanalei Refuge. It is really quite stunning. And educational. It's a great stop off for your clients to check out. It is only open Tuesday through Saturday, but during your client's stay, chances are they're going to be able to visit this wonderful little area to go and learn a little bit more about this fantastic refuge. Moving on to the east side, of course, known as the Royal Coconut Coast. I always have to share about this beautiful bike path. Very, very exciting because the Rails to Trails Conservancy actually put them in the Hall of Fame. Woohoo! So winning, and we're really excited about that. So just more bragging rights for this wonderful coastal path. So definitely keep this in mind for your clients. It's a great way to explore the east side. They don't have to be on a bike. You can walk it, jog it, crawl it if you have to, but really quite spectacular. Keep in mind that any properties here on the east side, oftentimes they have their bikes that they allow their guests to use as part of their guest amenities. So definitely keep that in mind. And of course, we do have vendors that do rent out those bikes for your clients to have as well. So keep that in mind. Just a wonderful coastal path to explore. Also on the east side, now Hawaii is the only state that can grow coffee and chocolate, which is why every island has got its own coffee and chocolate farms, and they're all amazing. But I've got more bragging rights. Lydgate Farms is one of our chocolate farms. We have a few, but Lydgate actually does, of course, the chocolate tours. But they recently opened up their storefront in Kapa'a Town. So it's right there within historic Kapa'a Town, and it's a tasting room. So you can actually go in and do a complimentary chocolate tasting. And it's also where you can purchase their chocolate, you can purchase their vanilla, and they actually have chocolate tea, if you can believe that's amazing. But furthering my bragging rights, Lydgate actually went to the Cacao of Excellence Awards in Europe, and they came back with the gold. So it is literally the best tasting chocolate in the world. So, hey, anyway, send your clients to go and check it out. And then, of course, at the storefront, they can book a tour. If they didn't book it in advance, they can go in there and check availability and book a chocolate tour if they want to. So just something more to share with you. Moving into Lihue, of course, this is where our airport is located, good old LIH. And it is here that you will find Kalapaki Beach, which is fantastic. If you have any cruise ship clients, this is actually they'll be coming in just to the left-hand side. You'll see a little opening. That is actually where the cruise ship squeeze their butts into, and they dock just over there on the left-hand side. But Kalapaki, wonderful swimmable beach, and actually walkable from Nawiliwili Harbor. Also in Lihue, the Kauai Museum. Again, for those of you who have joined me for presentations in the past, it's a wonderful, charming little place. You got to send your clients to go and explore it. It is here that they will find out why we've named our parks and our roads and buildings and special places after specific families and people. And our Hawaiian royalty, it allows your clients to further connect with the people of Kauai, with the community. It is a very, very special, special place. So highly recommend that you do send your clients to start their vacation here so that they can learn a little bit more about what makes Kauai so unique, so special. Additionally, they always have got wonderful ongoing events. As you can see there, I put up a few of those for you. Please, please, please share that with your clients as well. Again, if they're looking for something a little bit more immersive, say they've been to Kauai a few times and now they're looking for something a little bit more in-depth, send them to the Kauai Museum for them to experience some of that as well. And then, of course, Kilohana Plantation, again, not new. We've been talking about this for a long time, but a really great place to send your clients. It's right there in Lihue. It's only about 2 miles away from the airport. So say your clients have to check out early and they have the rest of the afternoon, send them to Kilohana Plantation. Have them go on the Kauai Plantation Railway or have them do the Kauai Safari Tour, which is like a 2-hour tour, only for those who are 21 years or older. But that's always a lot of fun. They've got their farm-to-table restaurant, Plantation House by Gaylords. Again, so much to see and do at this estate. And they also have a luau. So again, if you have cruise ship clients on the NCL, that is the luau that they are made available to. So Kilohana Plantation, definitely something to keep in mind for your clients. And then down to beautiful Poipu. Of course, we're going to learn a little bit more about the beautiful Grand Hyatt Kaua, which is situated down here on the south side. But of course, getting down there, you do travel down through Malukia or Tree Tunnel. Absolutely spectacular. It's funny because every time I go down to the south side and I'm seeing this beautiful tree tunnel, it always makes me smile because it's so beautiful. But then if I'm following a visitor and if they've got like a convertible, I'll see like not the driver, but the passengers got their arms outside of and they're filming. And it's like, yes, I know. Please tell your clients no standing in the middle of the road to take pictures. That's a big, 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 big no. But if somebody's driving, they can, put their hands outside the window and carefully and of course, go ahead and film it. But really, this is your welcome down to the south side. I did want to share a couple of shopping centers down on the South Shore. Now, this is not all the shopping centers that we have on the island, but wanted to put a little bit more emphasis on the South Shore since we will be spending some time at the Grand Hyatt Kaua in a little bit. So we have Poipu Shopping Village, Koloa Village, which is our newest little shopping center down in Koloa town. And then, of course, the shops at Kukui'ula. All three of these shopping centers have some wonderful restaurants and shops, and they all have ongoing events. So definitely follow them on Instagram. I find that that's probably the best way to find out what's happening for a lot of these places. They have websites, but Instagram has kind of been the hub for a lot of these places to share the most up-to-date information. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, Poipu Beach. Now, Kauai is the oldest of the major Hawaiian islands, right? So that also means that we actually have more beach per coastline than our neighbor islands. So that means we've got those miles and miles of beautiful white sandy beach. Not all of them we necessarily recommend for swimming, okay? But Poipu Beach is one of our lifeguarded beaches. It's one of my favorite beaches. So I'll be there this weekend, just FYI. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I'm bragging. Okay, so that's, of course, right there down on the south side. And of course, we also have the National Tropical Botanical Garden Organization. It is headquartered here on Kauai. Their main visitor center is down in Poipu, but we have the Allerton, the McBride, and Limuhuli Garden, which is actually up on the North Shore. But there are only 3 of these gardens in the entire United States. Sorry, there are only 5 of these gardens in the entire United States, and we have 3 of them on the island of Kauai. So definitely send your clients to go and check out all 3 if they're so inclined, because they're all very different. They're all unique. They're all very, very special. And then, of course, right across the street from the visitor center is Spouting Horn. And just a beautiful view. Of course, it all depends on how big the waves are. But they say that spray can get up to 50 feet, which is pretty impressive. So I always love to stop off here when I've got friends or family coming to visit me here on Kauai. Now moving off to the west side of Kauai, of course, we have Pa'ulaula State Historic Site. If you, again, are familiar with Kauai, this used to be the Russian Fort Elizabeth, but we finally were able to take back its proper place name, which was actually the residence of our last reigning king, King Kaumoali'i. So you start your clients off at the Kauai Museum. They learn about all of our history and the Kauai royalty, right? Our last reigning king, Kaumuali'i. And then as they're making their way off to the west side, or as they're coming back from the west side, have them stop off here and learn a little bit more about King Kaumuali'i, his legacy that he left for his people. Absolutely amazing. It is, you enter this place with a sense of reverence where you know that you're standing on hallowed ground because it is from here that he ruled. And the direction from which he is facing, because Kauai County, his kingdom, consisted of Kauai as well as Ni'ihau. And so he is actually on Kauai, but he's also looking over Ni'ihau as well. So stewarding over his people. And then, of course, we're the only island, right, that has Waimea Canyon, aka the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Nobody else is old enough to have this amazing canyon on their island. So absolutely fantastic, absolutely stunning. This is one of my favorite places to visit. When I'm home, when I have the time, I will drive up to the canyon, do some hiking, check out the lookouts. Really, really beautiful. And then, of course, at the very end of the road, Kalalau Valley Lookout. You know that you've hit it when the road dead ends at the parking lot, and this here, depending on the time of day. Sometimes it gets sucked, and I'm so sorry. That just means that you have to come back. Tell your client, well, that just means a return trip is being demanded by the island. But definitely don't let your clients get to Kauai without getting out to Waimea Canyon and Kokee State Park to see these amazing views, right? It is part of what makes Kauai so unique. Now, of course, I do have to talk a little bit about our activities. Of course, nobody can tell you, well, I'm sure people tell you all the time, there's nothing to do, it's a quiet island. Yes, yes, yes. We are a quiet island. Yes, we shut down a little bit early. We are not a nightclub island. So your clients, we don't have something for everybody, because if somebody's looking to partay down in the clubs, they'll be very, very disappointed. So you don't send them to Kauai to party in the clubs. If they want to explore the beauty, if they want to connect with the people, connect with the island, you send them to Kauai to go and explore the island. 80% of Kauai is inaccessible by car. So you're going to want them to get on some of these tours, explore it, and really love this island, right? So send them on with some of these activities. Absolutely fantastic. I did want to give a big shout out to Blue Dolphin Charters. They were awarded by USA Today's Reader's Choice for the best tour company in Hawaii. Now, obviously, we've got boat tour companies that travel up and down Napali year round, and they're all spectacular. So we're especially proud of Blue Dolphin Charters for winning this very prestigious award. So congratulations. But again, just want to throw that out there, give them a shout out. Mountain tubing, very unique to the island, of course. We're the only island that has this particular experience using the old sugarcane irrigation ditches. Please note that they have to book this in advance because it sells out, especially during the summertime, months in advance. So again, keep that in mind. River kayaking, also unique to Kauai. We're the only island old enough to have rivers long enough and deep enough to allow this kind of activity. So we have 3 rivers that people commonly will kayak up and down. So river kayaking, a really wonderful experience for the entire family. I will caution you that if you have couples doing this, you have to make sure that they're in sync because they could get into fights. Never mind. Okay, river kayaking, really wonderful. And then of course, mālama. I'm sure heard of this word before, but mālama means to care for, to protect. We're just asking everybody, residents and visitors, to just travel a little bit mindfully, be aware of our footsteps. And there are just simple ways that your clients can help us to really care for mālama, our beautiful island. So send them on a food tour, for goodness sakes, right? The great thing about Tasting Kauai and any of the food tours is they're visiting places that are sourcing responsibly and they're supporting local. These are great ways to mālama, but at the same time, eating a lot of really good food. So again, definitely send your clients. It's a great experience, but again, a great way for them to mālama Kauai as well. And then, of course, buy local, shop local, support local. Our ongoing events, absolutely fantastic. I will email you out a what's new sheet. On the front, we'll have our what's new. On the back, we'll have a list of all of our ongoing events, including our farmers markets. This is a great way for you to add value to your client's itinerary by making those suggestions when they get to Kauai. And then, of course, our festivals ongoing festivals that happen throughout the year. Here's a few that we know of that have set their dates, but always go back to KauaiFestivals.com to check out what is happening on Kauai if they're coming out here, because some of the best food and entertainment will be at these amazing festivals. And then, of course, your very basic ways to mālama, right? Volunteerism opportunities. Surfrider Foundation on Kauai, they do a weekly net patrol every Wednesday at 3:30. The Friends at Lidgate Beach Park, they actually do a weekly beach cleanup as well over at Lidgate. Really, really fantastic. And then, of course, you're hearing it first here, right here. We actually are encouraging people to also do a self-guided beach cleanup. If they're going to the beach anyway, have them bring a little bag, and if they see anything, go ahead and pick it up. While supplies last, we do have some of these cute little beach cleanup kits. Send your clients in, and they can pick up one of these for free. We only ask that they do post and tag us if they're doing their own self-guided beach cleanup, which we appreciate. So mahalo to your clients in advance, for helping us to keep Kauai special and beautiful with all those miles and miles of beach cleanup, right? And then, of course, finally, our Humane Society has 2 programs. One is the field trips for shelter dogs, right? Adopt a dog for the day. Really fantastic. And because it's been so successful, they did open up Tropicats Cafe. Because cats don't like field trips, they really didn't appreciate, being taken out. So you go to them and you spend some time. All proceeds go back to the Humane Society. Every cat, every dog that you're able to take out, they're all available for adoption. So, and they can assist with making those arrangements, getting those for babies home. So keep that in mind. So with that, remember agents.gohawaii.com. That is where the certification is statewide, but of course the certification 3 is Kauai. There's my contact information. I will be reaching back out to you for those of you who are joining us. So mahalo nui loa. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Rita, who's going to share all about her amazing property, the Grand Hyatt Kauai Resort and Spa. Mahalo.
Aloha, everybody. Thank you, Miss Miley. She had such great information. I cannot even. It's unbelievable. Well, I'm going to take you back down to the South Shore and tell you a little bit about the Grand Hyatt. And okay, everybody give me a thumbs up if you can go ahead and see my screen. That's awesome.
Looks fantastic. It's perfect.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you so much. So here we are at the Grand Hyatt Kauai, and we are the premier resort on the sunny South Shore of the Garden Island. We are a mere 16 miles from the airport, and as Miley showed you, it is a wonderful and stunning view from the airport to the hotel, as you will come down that tree tunnel to get to our island. So we occupy 50 acres, so we are one of the larger resorts on the island, with 605 guest rooms, including 43 suites. Fun fact that I'm surprised Miley didn't mention is that no building on Kauai can stand taller than a cocoa palm. So more often than not, you're going to find that the resorts are going to be a little bit lower and wider than some of the other ones. A lot of times the question is, who's the right guest for the Grand Hyatt Kauai? Well, quite frankly, it's anybody and everybody depending upon the time of the year. Right now it's off season, so I always say it's great for honeymooners and adults celebrating any of those milestone moments, anniversaries, proposals, honeymoons. It's great. The other thing is during the other times when you've got those kids that are out of school, we're great for those summer breaks, the fall breaks, spring break, or even festive. We're very popular for festive as well. Once you're here at the resort, as you can see, being quite spacious, we do have 7 great options for dining, entertainment, and cocktails. On the bottom left, you do see that wonderful lit up restaurant is our signature, which is Tide Pools, where reservations are highly recommended. What other great things do we have to offer here at the Grand Hyatt Resort? Number 1 is a very expansive water playground. Looking at either the top right or bottom left images, we do have about 5 acres of water features at our resort. Our uppermost pool deck is dedicated to adults only. So if you do have them celebrating one of those milestone moments and they're escaping their own children, They don't need to listen to the Marco Polo all day long, right? What's also nice about the adult pool deck is that Captain's Bar is not that far away, so the adult beverage is always handy for the Mai Tai or the lava flow. Looking down below at our lagoon, you see that we do have our wonderful saltwater lagoon, a 150-foot water slide, a river pool, also what we call our action pool. So again, a water area that has something for everybody. Another fun little fact, we've got a lot of lounges at our resort. So folks can find a lot of their own spaces to go and enjoy. Our cabanas are available for rent prior to arrival with their reservation confirmation. So that way, if they really want a perfect spot and they want to reserve that in advance, it is available. Also at our resort, we do have our very own amazing 45,000 square foot Anara Spa, 17 treatment rooms, and every single way that you can pamper your body is currently available. You want to wrap it, rub it, scrub it, you name it, we can get that done, and you can pamper yourself 20 ways till Sunday. Do you like to be out? Do you like to swing those clubs? Looking at the bottom right, we do have our very own amazing Poipu Bay golf course. It is 18 holes, a Robert Trent Jones Jr. design. Say that 3 times fast. But what's really nice is that the back 9 do see that wonderful, beautiful ocean view. So from November to April, it is an excellent opportunity to catch the whales as they're heading towards Maui. We do also have 2 tennis courts that are also repainted to allow for pickleball, because the desire for people to do their pickleball at home and away has grown over the last few years. And then, of course, you are on the Garden Island. By all means, you do want to immerse yourself in our Hawaiian culture. So we do have an amazing Hawaiian Cultural Center where you can come and engage with our Hawaiian Cultural Coordinator. Lei making, storytelling, other crafts, ukulele, hula. You decide when you come in, arrive at our hotel, you're going to get a full week schedule of our activities, and you can go ahead and plan those into your week and make your reservations. Most of those are complimentary as well. Moving on, what is it like when you stay at the Grand Hyatt Kauai? As you can see, we have some very spacious rooms. They average anywhere from 485 to about 500 square feet, and they all have a lanai regardless of the view type. So our queen rooms do have a combination tub and shower, where our king bedded rooms do have the glass shower, and regardless, all of them have the large double marble sinks. And again, those lanais for all. We have 4 view types, which are basically standard, which look out into a garden. Our resort view, which may be at the pool or ocean kind of facing. Our partial oceans that may be a little bit farther in the room or on the lanai to see the ocean. And then our direct ocean views where you open the door and bam, there it is. Nothing but blue, spectacular. And that way people can make their own choices and decide how they want to invest in their stay. Do I want a basic view and I maybe may do more activities, or do I just want to go big and have that ocean view? For people that do want a little bit more space, we do have many suite options. We have our ocean suites, which are most common. Those are about 1,100 to 1,500 square feet, available in 1 or 2 bedroom configurations. From that, we go to the grand suites. We're a little bit larger at about 1,500 square feet. And again, those are good for the families. They have an extra half bath. My favorite suites in the house are our royal suites. There are 2, and those are great for families because those sleep 6. Mom and dad in a king bed. In the back corner, we've got a set of trundle twin beds. So we've got the 2 kids sleeping separately. And then that sofa does fold out to a queen size sofa bed. So lots of space. And then we have our Ali'i suite, which is available in 1, 2, or 3 bedroom configurations, anywhere from 1,100 to 2,200 square feet. So at its largest, as a 3 bedroom, it does sleep 10. So again, extended family, it's a great option. Moments of more. What are some of the additional things that you could do while you're down here at the Grand Hyatt Kauai? So we do have a fleet of beach cruisers that our guests can grab and go ahead and explore the South Shore. These are complimentary, and it just gives you extra option to go ahead and tour the town. We have hydroponic farm tours. We grow our very own lettuces here at the resort. So with our hydroponic farms, we do grow about 200 pounds of lettuce per week, which is crazy when you think that it's only the size of like 2 tennis courts. Again, celebrating those milestone moments, enjoy our Share the Stars. So that is a private dinner for two, out fronting the ocean with a 4-course prefix meal. It's very romantic and beautiful and highly recommended. Additional things that our guests and families can enjoy is our parrot time session as well as koi feeding. Every day we have food put out for the koi fish, and the kids just love to watch those koi get fed because they're absolutely wild. And then we've got 4 beautiful exotic birds that people can also take a chance 3 times a week, learn a little bit about their native environment as well as their pampered lifestyles here at the Grand Hyatt Kauai. Of course, you can't miss the Grand Hyatt Kauai Luau, which is on a Wednesday or Saturday, which is a full buffet as well as an amazing show. So it does feature all of your Hawaiian favorites from your terry beef, chicken, fish, and also items for any of your folks. Make special requests if they're vegan or require anything else. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have our amazing cabanas throughout the resort that you can go ahead and rent in advance of arrival. Moving on, how are the different ways that you can book the Grand Hyatt Kauai? So we do have some great rates out there right now where it's 10% off all rates through November 30th with travel through June 7th. So take advantage of those, whether you're booking through a wholesaler or whether you're booking on a GDS, up to you. You pick your best method. We're more than happy either way. Bed and breakfast is also available for folks if they do want to have our very extensive breakfast buffet. It pretty much has everything that you can possibly imagine. We do even feature some kombuchas and juices from our neighbors down the street, Kauai Juice. Really great place to go and have some healthy snacks. We do also have our Sunshine on Sale program. So with this so we get a discounted rate with stay of 5 nights or more. You get the breakfast buffet, of course, and additional discounting. I know we've got Neil Miller here on our presentation today, and he is one of those that does participate in our Points for Paradise program. So again, no matter how you book a stay with our resort here at the Grand Hyatt Kauai, you can personally earn World of Hyatt points that you can use throughout the world at our Hyatt resorts. So we've got the link here, and then afterwards when we send information, I'll send that to you, which also leads us to our Hawaii 5-0 program. So if you end up being one of our top bookers with the Points for Paradise program, you could potentially qualify for our Hawaii 5-0 program, which has a lot more benefits to you, the travel advisor, for your own personal use here in Hawaii. And that does apply to all of our Hyatt resorts here in Hawaii. With that kind of wraps it up for me. And then I will hand it back to the group. And by all means, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that should pop up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You have so many fans here, Maile. Rita, so many agents are also so impressed and excited to hear about everything. When you have a minute, take a look at the chat box. It's going to get you in a really good mood. So anyone, I see here, someone's asking about a rental car. I'm going to answer that real quick, but if you could throw your questions in the chat, in the Q&A, that'd be so helpful. Now, if you have to run because you're going to go call all your clients and create an e-blast and campaign about the Grand Hyatt Kauai and this beautiful destination, we forgive you. But just teasing, you have qualified. Don't worry, you've watched the presentation. We know you're all busy, so feel free if you need to exit to do so at this point. However, if you'd like to stay on, we are going to do our Q&A session at this point. If you have any questions that you have not put in yet, please put them into the Q&A box. I did throw the PDF in the chat as well as Maile's contact information. I'll share Rita's as well so that you have that, and also on Facebook as well. And if you have any questions, just type them out for me. And thanks everyone for tuning in. So great. Okay, so I will start with the Q&A from the top. Lots of great comments from our amazing agents. Susan is asking, says, I have a young couple with toddlers interested, but I wasn't sure if it'd be a good island with young ones. Any recommendations?
So we're a great island for families. So it's just a matter of figuring out exactly what kind of experiences those families want to have. So ideally, I usually say ages 5 and up is kind of the sweet spot for a lot of those activities. But if they're younger, of course, they're not going to want to be, you don't put a 3-year-old on zip line. It's wrong. So, but amazing beaches with great wide open spaces that they can run around, enjoy the ocean. You know, Rita's resort, of course, has got those wonderful family pool areas with the saltwater lagoon. We have the train ride, which is great for all of the ages. You know, looking at the various lookout points are always a lot of fun too, just because you've got Koke'e Lodge with that beautiful meadow. So it really depends on what the family's looking to do. But the beauty of Kauai is there's always something to do.
It seems like it, yes. That is so fantastic. Okay, next question. Can you drive all the way around like Oahu? How long would it take?
So as you can see behind me, Napali, it is the reason why you cannot drive around the entire island. So there's never going to be a highway going across this amazing coastline, which you're very, very proud of. So at some point, you're going to have to turn around and go back the other way. Nobody actually, I mean, because you always have to start in the middle of the island. So nobody's actually driving from one end to the other. But in theory, if somebody were to try and do that driving nonstop from one end of the road to the other end, it would take probably 6 to 7 hours. And it's not the mileage. It's our roads are, you know, we don't have those giant highways. That's part of the charm of Kauai. You know, it's basically 2-lane highways. Once in a while, we have a passing lane.
One lane.
Once in a
That's the
while,
beauty.
One lane.
but otherwise, we're a more rural island. We're more laid back. We don't need the speeding people. And we want people who are really going to enjoy the island at its pace. And really stop off and see those great mom and pop restaurants and, you know, experience those activities and look at the lookout points and really explore Kauai the way it was intended.
Well put. I love it. Next one, for the park pass, is it still required if the client signs up for some kind of a tour from a vendor around there?
For Ha'ena State Park, there is no tour to there. So the only way to gain access is at gohaena.com. So that's the one and only way that you gain entry into the end of the road up on the North Shore, Ha'ena State Park.
Okay, perfect. I just see another question in the chat, so I'll grab it while I'm here. But if you guys can help us out and put them in the Q&A, because I can't always stop and see them because they get buried. So someone says, getting around the island, how reliable is Uber or taxi service?
You know, if you had asked me that 3 to 4 years ago, I would have said, "Oh, good luck." We do have taxis. We've always had taxis, but you know, and those are very reliable. I actually have found that Uber and Lyft on Kauai has really become quite reliable. I travel a little bit. And I actually take rideshare to and from the airport all the time.
Perfect.
You do have to budget a little bit more time. So if you know that you need to be here by X amount of time, give yourself a little bit of time. It could take, 15 minutes to confirm that Uber or Lyft, and it could be 3 minutes, and you're like, oh no, 3 minutes, but just be ready. But I find that we've got a lot more drivers. In fact, I've only had 2 repeat drivers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's more than I can say for where I live in Canada. Like literally, I wouldn't even take an Uber right now here because I don't even, that sounds super great. How many
I will
days?
say early in the morning, late at night, that's where you have to be careful. Like, after like 9 p.m.
You have less drivers likely. Yeah.
Yeah. We go to bed, that's why.
Yes, it makes sense. I love that.
What are you doing up?
Why are you going out? Can it not wait? Okay, how many days would you say would be the ideal for getting to see most of the highlights?
Our average length of stay is 7 nights for the island. If you have clients that they want to see more than one island, which I totally understand, I usually say give every island a minimum of 4 to 5 nights, just because otherwise they'll be running around and they'll be spending way too much time in the airport, checking in and out, getting their rental. You're wasting time, and time is precious. So
Right.
4 to 5 days per island minimum,
Correct.
to
Agreed.
give each island its due justice. But really, our average length of stay is 7 nights, and we're
Yeah, and a
office at
fun
the end
fact
and
is,
crying because they didn't get to see and do everything.
and a fun fact is you can save and do the North Shore, South Shore experience too. So stay on the North Shore because is so different from the South Shore. South Shore, so you can save a little money by not having to buy 2 airline tickets, but stay on the North and then stay on the South, and you can enjoy both differently, which is kind of a nice thing to do as well.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to the Q&A. So if you have a question, throw it in the Q&A so that I can go to those agents' questions now. And I'm just going to go in the order in which they were received. Okay. So earlier in the presentation, we had a question on what can clients expect to see at the safari tour?
Oh, the Rum Safari Tour, that is basically going about the Kilohana plantation itself. So they have 100-acre estate with their at the end you'll be looking through beer goggles, but it's fine. It's fine. But really you're getting to see all the agriculture, learning about the history of that plantation. They go through their animal pasture where you get to feed the wild boar. So they use the word safari kind of lightly because it's not like an African type of safari experience by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely looking at the agriculture. But really the point of not only that tour, as Rita was alluding to, it's also rum tasting. You also get the best Mai Tai you'll ever have because it is made with premium Kolo rum, which is an award-winning rum. And then you also get another beverage, which is always a seasonal cocktail. So whatever fruit is in season at the time, that is what they will put into this next wonderful beverage. And these guys should be bartenders because they're
I've done it
absolutely
3
amazing.
times, and every drink was like amazing.
I've done it 5.
Oh my goodness, it sounds like I'm missing out, guys. I'm having FOMO. Okay, whoever
So good.
goes now when you're going for the 3 nights, tell us, film it so we can see it. I would love to see and experience that. You can do it on your first Mai Tai so that, everything's in order. Okay, Neil, thank you. We love the bike path. The next one, which coast or beach is the best for surfing? And can you possibly touch at the same time? Never mind. No, just the safari, just the surfing to start. Best coast or beach, please.
That question actually will depend on the time of the year. So if you look at the island, it's kind of circular in shape. And for all of the Hawaiian islands, our ocean conditions, our currents, they change based on the time of the year. So in the winter months, every north and eastern shore of every island is going to tend to have those really big waves. And unless you're a professional surfer, we're not sending you to those beaches. So if you want to learn how to surf, we're going to send you down to the South Shore.
Okay.
And then consequently on the other side, when it switches again, the South Shore tends to get the bigger waves and the North Shore becomes very lake-like. But the beauty of the South Shore is it doesn't get like those giant waves like the North Shore does. But you do see a bump up in those waves. So it kind of depends on the time of the year on which beach we would refer somebody to learn how to surf.
What did I tell you, spoiled agents? She knows her stuff, you see? That's such great insider information. And that is why customers are going to book with spoiled agents, with travel agents and travel professionals like you, because you're going to know these little tidbits because you come to our webinars. Yay. Okay. What about snorkeling? Is there a specific month or time of year to recommend to avid snorkelers looking for waters and less crowds?
That also depends, just like the surfing question, it depends on the time of the year. So during the summer months, the North Shore beaches are epic for snorkeling. I will say that they become very lake-like. I will send a caveat that always check ocean conditions We have a website that people can check out just to make sure that whatever beach that they're planning to go to is not in some kind of warning. But yeah, North Shore beaches during the summertime are really, really spectacular for snorkeling, consequently, vice versa too. But we've got lots of beaches for people to choose from to experience the snorkeling.
Okay, fantastic. Wow, the agents have got lots of great questions here. Again, if you have to run as an agent, of course, and I don't know if you still both have time. I know we're almost at the 1 hour mark. Rita and Miley, is that okay? We still have a couple dozen questions because these agents are keen and want to know, and we love the questions. Thanks, guys, for all the interaction. It's fantastic. Which part of the island would you recommend for a couple who are moderately active and it's their first visit? And what about for a family?
Well, we do have Rita here.
I'm going to be partial and say the South Shore, but again, it kind of depends on what you're looking at and what you're looking for. So I think for families, definitely our resort is going to have everything that you want for a family, because there's so much to do, or don't do it at all. And yet there's still enough to do within the Poipu Kaua area, because we are a visitor destination area. And within like a 5-mile radius, there is so much stuff to do: zip line, hiking, horseback riding, biking, boating, shopping, dining, you name it. So in this area, there's so much to do. I think it's especially for the families. But when you look at couples, again, that might be a great opportunity for one of those split stays. Go to the north, maybe start down here for a little bit more action, a little bit more stuff. Maybe have some of those moderate activities, visit the National Tropical Botanical Gardens, maybe do some hiking on the South Shore that's going to be very moderate, but then go and really relax at another resort on the North Shore, and then just really enjoy that green beauty. And I hate to say it, but I like to say that Hanalei is Hana without the drive. So for those of you that have driven to Hana, it's a long drive, but you can go to Hanalei and experience all of that beauty without having to take 2.5 hours to get there. So just saying.
Of course. Okay, so as we're here with Rita, let's ask some property questions, which we have here. First of all, just a comment. Thank you for keeping the adult only pool, triple exclamation mark. Does the Grand Hyatt offer any dining packages?
So right now we do have the 2 breakfast packages available. So we do have the bed and breakfast, and then we do also have the Sunshine on Sale, which does have the breakfast as well. We are changing up one of our offerings starting with 2025, where we do have our club level service. So we will be selling those as categories with club level service. So that will be starting. Now, it's not a full package, but there are some people that say that our offerings are fairly extensive, so they really haven't had to go to dinner if they don't want to. So basically our club level service, though, it has an enhanced continental breakfast. So pastries, bagels, eggs, meat products, oatmeal, the whole nine. So you do have a nice option of breads, snacks in the afternoon, and then heavy poo-poos in the evening. So fruit, crudité, rotational hot item, snacks, that kind of thing in the evening. So that is going to be the closest thing that we have to an actual meal plan. And again, that will be launching for 2025.
Okay, fantastic. And we'll stick with you for a few more.
Okay.
Are there rooms, are the rooms separated by doors in the suites?
Yes, there are plantation shutters in the suites that will close the doors to the sleeping accommodations.
Perfect. And can you say how much is the luau?
Yeah, we have pricing, a 3-tiered set of pricing. So for the adults, I want to say it's like $210. For juniors, it's less at like $185. And then for the smallers, they're like $55. And then for 5 and under, that's complimentary.
Okay, and you know what? I just found this super cool link that has all these experiences. Upena popo, thrown at fishing, all the
Yes.
things. I'm not going to try to pronounce any because I'm going to be so embarrassed beside you two
Okay.
lovely ladies who have done this for so long. So, but I'm gonna throw that link for you in the chat, everyone, okay? Next question, okay, wait, sorry. Next question for you. Besides rental cars, are there any transfers available to the Grand Hyatt?
We do not provide transfers, but there are rental cars and like you said, Uber or Lyft. But it is 16 miles and it's usually, even if you grab a cab at the airport, you can, it's pretty easy to get here.
Okay, perfect. And how about accessible rooms? Can you speak to that?
We do. We have a number of accessible rooms in either resort or partial ocean. So we have them as king or queen, and we do have them as either tub with assist bars or walk-in showers with the benches. And we do have a couple of roll-in units, and they are available as standalone or connecting. Same with all our rooms. We do have connecting options for families as well, but we do also have connecting options for ADA compliant rooms as well.
Well, fantastic. And one says here, Rita, do they have like kids camp at the resort?
We no longer offer kids camp. That was sunsetted past COVID. Hardly anybody wanted to bring their kids anymore.
Mhm.
So we kind of
I
let
don't
it
blame
go.
them. I like that adults only pool. I love my kids if you're listening one day. But yes, it is that adult only experience, and with that setting, wow. Right? Okay. Okay, I think I have some more for you, Miley. Lots of them
Okay.
actually. Do you recommend people getting rental cars? I saw lots of chats about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best way to get around the island, to allow the most flexibility. We are asking people to really take a look at kind of their entire stay and determine, do they need it for the entire stay? That is something that we are asking people. So maybe you don't need it for the entire week that you're there. Perhaps take an Uber, Lyft, and enjoy the resort. Maybe walk to and from some of the resort amenities and the things that are around. And then pick up a rental car the last part, or vice versa, to really be able to explore things like Waimea Canyon and get up to the North Shore and stop off at some of those beaches and stuff. But really, a rental car is the best way to get around the island.
That's fantastic. If I have clients that want to visit 2 islands during their trip to the area, what islands would be a great addition to pair with Kauai?
You know, the beauty of Hawaii is that every island is so different. And it doesn't matter which one or ones that you pair Kauai with, because they're all going to be so different. Nobody's ever going to come back and say, well, why did I do those 2 islands? Are exactly the same. There might be similarities in that they're beautiful, but they have different allures. They have different passion points for their visitors as well. So really, you can't go wrong. It's a matter of deciding what is it that your clients really want to see, because there are certain things that you can only find on certain islands, right? I had sat next to one lady who was coming to Kauai from the mainland. She had her kids, or staying for 2 weeks, which I was like, yay, that's amazing. But everything that she was excited to do wasn't on Kauai.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I said, well, obviously you didn't book their travel advice.
I was going to say she didn't use a travel agent.
Oh man, that's terrible. So again, very important that your clients know what their expected things to see and do match up with the island.
Okay. And on that note, is there a ferry between islands? There was talk of one a long time ago. No? Okay, we see everybody know.
That one got squished right away.
Yeah, I understand the impact to the environment and how important that is to the destination. Yes. Can you do day tours, flights to Oahu to visit Pearl Harbor for the day?
Yeah, you can. I mean, we have over 20 flights a day, and it's a 25-minute flight. So if you're using Kauai as your hub, that being said, however, it is a shame to go over to another island and not actually spend some time there. So kind of like I said, give every island 4 to 5 days. If you're going to another island, plan to spend some time there, because again, every island is worth exploring and worth seeing. And Pearl Harbor is an all-day thing, but there's also so much more to see and experience on Oahu as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess that helps to answer the next question. So is it best to visit each island on separate dates at separate vacation times to allow you to enjoy one island at a time. I guess it depends on how many days you have. If you have 20
depends on how
days,
many
maybe
days.
4 islands.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's 2 weeks, they could probably do 4 islands. But I usually tell people 7 days or more, 2 islands maximum. Again, using that equation of 4 to 5 days per island, that's kind of how you're going to want to break it up.
Okay, no, it makes total sense. Is Kauai a good island for whale watching?
We do have whale watching on Kauai. We also have tours that go out to whale watching. In fact, we just had our first whale watching, our first whale sighting. It is not our claim to fame, though. We do have whales. We can see them. We oftentimes will be sitting on the beach and seeing them, but really Maui is the claim to fame when it comes to whales. So if clients are saying the reason that we're going is to go see the whales, you're going to want them to go to Maui to really experience those whales.
Okay. And where can clients rent bikes for the trail?
Oh, there's a couple of outlets there on the east side. I don't know their names, but it's actually very easy to find out. So I can certainly get that.
Okay. And then someone said they just booked their best friend and her boyfriend's family on NCL for next August. They'd love to send them some activity options, or where could they find those options?
Actually, on our website, gohawaii.com/Kauai, there's a place that you can click on activities, and it'll pull up all the activity tour operators that we have on the island. Gives some really great suggestions.
Okay, here you go. I'm sending that to everyone. It's asking me to log in, so you guys are at that level where you're going to be able to log in. And here comes the link right there. That talks about, that is taking you to the islands and then choosing which island and then the things to do there. That's lots of fun. How do I set up a late greeting for my clients if they book their own airfare?
Oh, we have a late greeting company again, finally, because we didn't for a while. So I can email that over to you. I don't have that information readily available right now, but I do have that.
And we lay greet every one of our guests on arrival.
Look at you, Rita. Of course you do, because you're the Grand Hyatt and you're amazing. I love it. Well, that's how it should be. And you're going to the Grand Hyatt. And you're going to this beautiful property. I love that. Okay, totally writing that down. Okay. And if my husband's listening, hello, great idea. I know it was brought up to volunteer at the beach. Are there any other places to volunteer, or is it recommended to volunteer other places? What do you like to share for clients who like to volunteer?
There are actually a lot of volunteer opportunities. Kanu Hawaii, KANU Hawaii.com. They actually have got a list actually statewide of volunteerism opportunities. So that would be a great place to check out. So there are a lot of options for people to be able to volunteer, whether it's, helping out at the food bank or, packaging food, or if it's getting into the farms. There are a lot of various activities.
Okay, I'm sending that link in the chat for everyone. And of course, I've also sent it over to you, the person directly that asked the question. Does Grand Hyatt have a car rental on site?
We do. We have Avis. And if you go to the Avis site and you put in Poipu, you're going to get our address. So you can pick up here and return at the airport, or vice versa.
Oh, that's so
or
handy.
just pick up here and not anywhere up, and then just use it here for a day or two. Up to you.
Okay.
Oh, fun fact I didn't mention. We do have night shuttles for people that don't have cars. From 4:30 till 10, we have a shuttle that runs around Poipu and Kaloa. So if you don't have a car, you could still go off property for dining and shopping or whatever in the evening hours.
Or if you want to not have a car and have Mai Tais.
Or if you just want to go on a pub crawl, by all means.
There you go. Wow, that's so fantastic.
I see the hearts.
Lots of hearts, lots of Mai Tai fans here going on the shuttle. Well, it's just so nice, even if you don't drink. I'm not much of a drinker myself, but just to relax and not to think about it, you know, and just enjoy having a ride. Someone else says, I was planning to cruise to visit each island, but now I'm rethinking that. One day at each island doesn't seem like a good way to visit. What are your thoughts? I think
You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna bash the cruises because it is a nice way for people to get a
It
nice
is.
sample of every island. But I always equate it to saying, "Here's my lollipop. You have a sample of the lollipop. Okay, now give it back." So, you know, it is just a sample. So again, if somebody's just looking for just a little taste, but then they have to get out, they have to explore something, they have to choose something and do it.
Right.
But if you really want to immerse, again, every island is so unique, every island is so special that you really can really just spend your time on each island on its own vacation and really fall in love with each island.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think that's a good point that Miley said. It's like having a taste. So that gives you the opportunity to taste the flavors and decide which one you want to go back and immerse yourself in that flavor.
yep, that's what James says. Use the cruise as an appetizer for return and Ohana cultural immersion. Yay, James, you're
Very
hired.
nice.
I think that's very well said. Well, he's obviously been to lots of your amazing educational experiences. And speaking about educational experiences, someone says, I have to ask, FAMs. So any FAM opportunities, or how would they find out, or what do you suggest?
Oh,
Because I
So
don't
I know
host FAMs. I'd like to, but
we do have FAMs, so I would say inquire. I don't know what everybody's affiliations are, but we do coordinate a lot of those through our wholesale partners. We coordinate them through our Hyatt National Sales Force. We coordinate those through, we partner with the KVB. So we do partner with any channel you can possibly imagine. So if you have a consortia affiliation, make it known, and then we could possibly do it through any consortia affiliations. Any of your wholesalers, make it known. Our Hyatt sales force, make it known. And then we coordinate with all of those. So just put it out there that you want it, and your name's out there enough, we're going to have a channel that it can happen. And we do also have travel advisor rates.
oh,
So if you
fantastic.
do come to Hawaii, it is typically 50% off rack rates. So give me a holler. The farther out that you plan, the better. This provides the added value, but we do have travel advisor rates if you can't get a FAM, but you want to come out and visit. So give me a holler. You'll have all my contact information soon.
There you go. And I've put your email in there once again. And of course, Maile, your information also in the chat and here on our Facebook group, so that everyone has that at their fingertips. But of course, these fabulous humans are going to be sending you a follow-up. You'll have a follow-up email with all the great things. I put the points for Paradise. I think I've said it right.
Yes.
Also in the chat box. I'll throw that in one last time just for anyone who's super keen and wants to register right now. But you'll get a follow-up with all great nuggets of information for sure after the webinar. It has been such a pleasure. Are there any final words you'd like to share, Maile, Rita?
I just want to say a big mahalo for everybody who joined us today for learning about Kauai and of course the beautiful Grand Hyatt Kauai Resort and Spa. It's always so wonderful to share our beautiful island and properties with you.
Agreed. And we hope to welcome you to the island soon.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much. We do have another webinar happening coming up in December. And so please make sure you're watching your emails, Spoiled Agents, and our Facebook events, because we would love to have you join us again for all the possible opportunities that you can have to get immersed with beautiful Kauai. And we want to thank you for taking the time today, because we know you're so busy. So we hope to see you again really soon, everyone. Bye for now.
Aloha. Mahalo.